look right.
Do you feel that the church is doing enough to expose Christians to these things that actually happen?
So we've been through all that. We've been exposed to drunkenness, we've been exposed to parties, we've been exposed to a lot of all this. The reason I can actually relate to the both sides of the coin is because I've been there before. And I've seen the impact and the transformation of God in my life. I actually understand how it goes for my person. And that's why I look at the church as a place, or I expect the church to actually be like a hospital where you have a lot of patients. You have some people who are not actually coping with the medicine, some people are getting better, some people are not getting better. But you have to still administer the drugs, you still have to administer the care, you still have to. So if you've been where I've been, I can't see a drug addict and downcast. Because I can relate. I might not actually be where he is right now, but I have an idea, a mental picture of how it goes. I might not actually be a fornicator now, but I've experienced what will I call it? Is it out of marriage sex or extramarital sex or whatever you call it? You're not really married officially, so that's fornication as a youth. So we've been through all that. We've been exposed to drunkenness, we've been exposed to parties, we've been exposed to a lot of all this stuff. So when you see somebody struggling with that, you can be empathic about it. You can feel the remorse, but you see, once you present yourself to be this self-righteous person, you tend to, why are you sick now? You're not supposed to have a fever now. Why you should be stronger than the medicine by now? No, not everybody's on the same level. And you see, we're all here to cater for one another. Yes, we're not here to judge one another. We're just here to help one another, grow. Look, this is the condition this young man is in. I can relate. That was here 15 years ago. I know how it goes. He has made a mistake. How can we make it better? Just imagine if God had to keep tabs on everybody. Just imagine if Jesus had to keep tabs on everybody. So why do we want to do that? So you need to embrace the failures. You have to embrace the weakness in order to impute the strength. And it takes time. If you really love it for what it is, you will give the time. Some people work for 25 years in a career. I have a job that I've been there for 25 years. You take your time. But can you give that much time to cater for people you need? And the journey is a lifelong journey. At different levels, you pull people up at different levels. You're being pulled up too. Because I was actually pulled up. I didn't get here on my own.
Exactly.
So I owe people the truth. I owe them the reality of the crux of the matter. I owe them the facts. Let's not placate the gospel. Let's not paint it to be what is not. Once you know this is what the mission is, once you know this is what your gift is, once you know this is what the talent is, once you know this is what the ministry is, whatever you call it, it's a service role. It's not a role to lord over people. It's a role to bow down before people and tie your shoelace, straighten up their tie, dust your shoulders off. That's the job. And God will take care of you. So you take care of people, God will put people to take care of you, and the chain continues. So once you look at it like that, you now see the temptations and the problems that youths are going through. you see it from a clearer perspective, and you're able to divert their attention. So fornication, huge, secondary school, university, or tertiary institution. Drugs, huge, secondary school, tertiary institution. Prostitution, huge. It's on those levels. This whole issue of duping people or stealing from people, or all these things are peer pressure. It starts from somewhere. So huge on these levels. So what are we doing? You know, so once you view it from there, you can be able to, you know, nip it at the bud. Oh yeah, that's what one of my friends would say. You know, you nip it at the bud. You know, you get the cancer, you cut it from the roots.
Exactly.
Yes. So once you can expose young people to the woes of fornication, once you can expose them to the dangers of stealing, once you can expose them to the dangers of lies, the truth behind lies. Look at it here. A lie is not just a lie. There's a spirit behind a lie. True. There's a spirit behind sex. There's a spirit behind money. There's a spirit behind anger. There's a spirit behind that's why I always tell people the spiritual realm is superior to this natural physical. It first has to be activated somewhere before you see it. You know, the inner workings of the physical. So it's triggered from somewhere. So if you can just open the eyes for someone to see that, look, this fornication, this is how much it sets you back. These are the spiritual diseases that come with it. These are the shackles, spiritual chains and bondage. These things can put you in. You're not trying to fight. True. You know, but the devil wants to keep you unaware. The goal is to seduce the process, to make everything look right. You know, to make everything look come on, this thing is not a big deal now. You know, but there is more underneath. We say the devil is in the detail. So you have to unpack. So once you are able to break these things down to the young people, they now understand the weight they are carrying. Because some of these little things have the capacity to actually breach your destiny. The levels you're supposed to attain, some of these little things of design, witchcraft. You know, there are so many things lingering around. But you know, we're not these days, we're worried about TV, the phones, you know, social media, you know, trying to make some money here, trying to make some money there. So you know, you just clouded and surrounded at every corner. So yeah.
That's really very good points that you mentioned out there, and I feel the devil just lets us feel everything is normal. That's why the Bible emphasizes that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. They don't understand what's actually happening.
The inner workings.
Yeah, exactly. So we just focus on the outside and then we ignore what is deep down in that. And then so like you mentioned about the church system teaching Christians about this aspect. Do you feel that the church is doing enough to expose Christians to these things that actually happen? Like going in depth to show, this is what you are likely to face as a Christian. This is how you may face it in the secular world. This is how you should blend it. This is the solution that you should. Like you mentioned that the church should be a hospital, but is it providing enough diagnosis services for the patients that are in there? Do you feel that?
Not to sound like a broken record, I think they're doing enough, but they're not doing enough.
Okay.
Yes, they can do better. I don't want to demoralize. There are people out there doing a huge job.
Exactly.
There are people out there sacrificing a lot on different levels for this thing to take off.
Okay.
And there's some people that misunderstand the process. So they are also derailing a lot of people.
Exactly.
So in the end, I just feel we all have a quota. Okay. We have what we can. It's like, just like Jesus would say, the body of Christ. There are many ligaments, muscles. Yes. So all of us have to fit into somewhere. True. So despite whatever challenges you face in the Christian world, you still doesn't limit you from still putting like your own inputs. So there's work to be done. Okay. Yes, there's still more work to be done. And the Bible says it all. It says, look, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. So it's always going to be on that scale. But in the end, there's the work is still done. The goal is the work. Just do the work. They say you that put your hands on the plow. You don't look back. You just keep pushing. So yeah. So much has been done, and so much has been ignored. But you see, we can all piece these things together, most especially across the African continent. Okay. A lot was done. Like I can give you like the history. Maybe for some other time, we'll talk about how we all got here, like as Africans. Okay. And I think, from my own standpoint, I'm like a second generation Christians because my grandparents were pagans. So my dad was the first person to be exposed in the bloodline to Christianity, and then myself and my kids. But in the worst situations for like the West, you have like 5 generations down the line. That's true. You have like 10 generations down the line. So they are not struggling with what we're struggling with. The journey over time has been refined. So my grandparents would have probably fought with the whole witchcraft and the altars and the whole thing. Then me now, I don't have to fight with maybe the flesh and all those things. Then my children now, we have to. So the more the progression, the lesser the load. Wow. Yes. So yeah. So I think yes, the church is doing a lot. Yeah. It still needs to do more, and we individually have to just put your own piece of the pie on the table. Let someone else benefit from what you've benefited from. True. So it's a chain.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that you mentioned that we should pull people up, because a lot of time we're so we just think more about ourselves. Me. I should do this. I should do that. So I need to develop, and then we fail to ignore those that God has put around us to benefit from our life in one way. So while we are growing, we are not even noticing that those around us are struggling in one way or the other. And I think once we have that awareness, then it changes the mindset totally.